Hello everybody, this is Christopher from bladenrocks.com. Got another drawing tutorial for you. We're going to go over a lot of stuff, got a lot of tips and tricks and cool things to show you. So let's get started. If you notice right away, I've got a jumbo playing card underneath my hand. That helps keep the drawing clean, helps keep me from smudging the lead that I put down. Be careful that you don't slide the card against the paper. It'll look like from time to time that I'm doing that, but the card kind of sticks to my hand, so I'm able to pick it up by just sticking to my hand and keep drawing. It's kind of cool the way it works out like that. First thing I'm going to do is, I've got my outline laid out. The first thing I'm going to do is darken in my outlines a little bit and make them a bit more smooth. If I can emphasize anything about learning to do this technique is to, whenever you can, try to work from reality. Try to work from photographs or from actual life, the people around you and things like that, whenever you can. By doing that, you'll learn a lot quicker how light and shadow works, and just how things look in general. If you don't work from photographs or work from reality, what you essentially do is just rework the same ideas that you already know. You're not really learning anything more. And if you know enough, that's fine. Right now I'm taking a Tortillion. It's a blending tool. I'll leave a list of tools in the description box like I always do. But it's a blending tool that helps you shade and blend really well, and I'm just going over my outline that I darkened in a minute ago. And you can see that it makes it a little more smooth looking and starts to blend it into the tone. Now I'm going to use a 2H pencil to block in my shadows. You can do this with a mechanical pencil if you want. You just use a lighter touch. It's just a personal preference to use the 2H pencil. But working from reality and photographs is how I'm able to get these shadows laid out the way that I do, so they look really realistic. I used a model for this particular picture as well, and I think towards the end that really shows. Once the shadows are laid in and blended in, it looks a little more realistic. I don't do a hyper-realistic style, just a semi-realistic style, because this particular picture is just for a comic book that I'm working on, the Lydia Cromwell comic book. This character is Sinya. She's a cute little girl, and she turns into this monster guy and gives Lydia a pretty hard time. She's a real cool character. If you get a chance, check out the comic book. Let's see. Yeah, just blocking in the shadows again. When I'm done with this, I'll blend them again with the Tortillion. That's kind of what I do over and over and over again, is do outlines and then blend the outlines away, do shadow tones and then blend the shadow tones away. And it's a process that just keeps getting repeated throughout the drawing. And all of this takes a little bit of time and patience, but none of it is really all too hard. Once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty quick and pretty easy. It takes a while to get used to it, but it's really not too bad at all. I think it turns out pretty well for the amount of time that I put into it. This drawing was maybe, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes start to finish, something like that. So that's not too bad for the outcome of it. Again, just blocking in shadow tones. You can see some of the areas of the muscle that I'm blocking in. And then I'm blending it in with the Tortillion again. The Tortillion, you can notice it makes your tones a little bit darker. I find that kind of nice. So once they smooth out, they're just a little bit more dark. I just go over everything to make it smooth. And we're going to go into a cut here real quick where it's a little more worked, kind of all of a sudden. I went over the outlines again right there. I went over the outlines again and blended them in, and then I did the pants real quick. Now he's starting to look like a pretty three-dimensional guy. And now I just add a few details to make him look like a monster, really. Right now I'm going into the shadows that I laid down a little bit, just making a couple areas a little more dark. I just go off of my photo reference again, and whatever it looks like, that's what I end up doing. Your shadows don't have to be absolutely perfect to the photo. Of course, the closer you get them, the better off you are. It's just a way to have some kind of reference so you can make things look a little more real. The more you do it, the easier it is. Some of this stuff might seem hard when you first try it, but if you stick with it for a while, it won't even seem like it's hard work. It's just something that you gotta do every day to try to get a feel for it. And after you've done it every day for a while, what you'll find is that you're sort of no longer forcing yourself to work. You're just having fun drawing. If you end up taking a day off, you'll really miss it. And I don't know, I really don't take days off unless I'm deathly ill or something. Now I'm just going to add a couple of marks, a couple of boils, things like that, to make this guy look a little bit more monster looking. I don't want him to be just like a human guy. Yeah, I'm gonna do a couple of boils here. I got like some pock mark on his head. Here's a good tip for erasing. I always use a brush to get rid of the little particles left behind when you erase. And the reason I do that is so that I don't accidentally spit on my drawing and leave something on my drawing. I know that might sound a little bit silly, but I've done it before, and it can wreck a whole panel of a comic book or a whole page, depending on what you're working on. So I do a couple boils there. I'm going to do some on his arm, his belly, here and there. Just a couple little things to make him a little more monster looking. And I think he's pretty much done here. A little bit more blending here and there. Like my tutorials, check out my comic book. Here's a quick ad for it. Thanks for watching.
Check out the new How to Draw comic book only at bladecomics.com.